初めて出会った日のこと覚えてますか過ぎゆく日の思い出を忘れずにいてあなたが見つめたすべてを感じていたくて空を見上げた今はそこで私を見守っているの教えてたくさんあるね会いたい会いたい気づけば面影探して悲しくてどこにいるの抱きしめてよ私はここ
Aloha and welcome back to the Japanese Cultural Center of Hawaii's New Year's Ohana Festival. That was the beautiful voice of Abriana Burruso, a student of Craig Shimizu, the singing sensei. We'll get to hear more of the singing sensei's students later in the show. For now, I'm your host Nolan Hong, and today is day 2 of the JCCH's New Year's Ohana Festival virtual show. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and visit jcch.com/NYOF 2022 to support the festival. You can also shop the Year of the Tiger t-shirts and bid in the JCCH's Things Japanese sale silent auction, which is live right now until January 21st. Also, we want to give a big mahalo to the New Year's Ohana Festival sponsors for their generous support. Mahalo to the CHIKU sponsors, Atlas Insurance Agency, First Hawaiian Bank, First Insurance Company of Hawaii, and Island Insurance Foundation. And mahalo to the BUY sponsors. It is the generosity of the Ohana Festival sponsors that helps the JCCH fulfill their mission to be a vibrant resource that strengthens our diverse community through cultural education. I think most locals can agree that it's not a New Year's party without a sashimi platter. Sashimi is a staple New Year's dish for being both delicious and symbolic. I had the chance to visit Tanioka's Seafood and Catering in Waipahu to learn about their family business and their New Year's experiences. But first, let's hear Dr. Willa Tanabe speak about Japanese wordplay and the symbolism of food eaten during New Year's.
All of these foods that you eat also have symbolic meanings. You eat kazunoko, or fish eggs, and that represents plentifulness and abundance and fertility. There's a lot of wordplay in Japanese, so fish are very important for several reasons. One is that the ancient Japanese fertilized their rice fields with fish. So fish and rice go together. But the other thing is that Japanese will use sea bream, which is tai, which is part of the word omedetai, congratulations, or when you say Happy New Year, you start with that word. Or you use kombu, seaweed, which can also be pronounced kobu, which is part of yorokobu, which means happiness. So all of these foods have some sort of link to good luck, good fortune, happiness.
I'm Justin Tanioka. I've been here since the beginning. We opened Tanioka a month after I was born.
I'm Tad Yamakawa. I am the Assistant General Manager for Tanioka Seafoods and Catering.
For me, food is important. You know, everybody likes to eat good food. And especially on a day like New Year's Eve, you want to eat the best food possible. So sashimi in Hawaii has become a tradition for New Year's Eve. It's the way to get together, bringing luck for the new year, eating the nicely sliced redfish.
Sashimi is basically any raw fish that's cut and sliced and served ready to eat. So it doesn't have to be ahi, it can be aku, it can be all different sorts of type of fish, any type of raw fish that's cut and filleted to be served. Well, the whole process for the sashimi for Taniokas is, first and foremost, we buy all local fish, and we buy it at the auction block on Pier 38. So from there, from the auction, we bring the fish here to the market. We prep it, we break it down, and we cut it. And it is a long, tedious process, and it is an art. Our sashimi cutters, they're so accurate and they're so precise with their cuts, and just how they display it on the platter. And that's, a lot of that goes into it. The effort, how they care about the fish and how they put it and display it on the platter. So it is definitely an art. The quality of the fish really is important. You'll be able to see the, the fat, the oily part in the fish and the cuts. And that usually is what, really brings out the taste in the fish as well too.
Taniokas for New Year's, it's our busiest day of the year. Out of all the days, nothing comes close to New Year's Eve. And we're appreciative of our customers and our employees that work so hard through that whole week.
Pre-COVID, there was no social distancing. So the line, we would fit about 35, 40 people in the market. And the line would go out from the door and probably at least, I say a good 100 feet, maybe longer. And that would probably last from about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning until we close late in the afternoon.
On a daily basis, we have maybe 1 or 2 platters on order every day. And we sell single servings in the front that people can enjoy on a daily basis. But for New Year's Eve, it's just nonstop people calling in order. And we do upwards of like 300 to 400 pounds on just that one day.
Knowing that we can make somebody's New Year's Eve, we can provide the fish, provide a good quality sashimi for them, because they're so happy when they call. Just hearing the voice, oh, I want to put in our sashimi order for New Year's Eve. Can we do this? Oh, we sure can. Just hearing that in their voice that we can satisfy them, providing for their needs, especially for that, for New Year's Eve, which is such a big tradition here in Hawaii.
Our family has always believed in people, being nice to people and being good to people, and that's what they instill in us. Me and my sister Jasmine, that's what we were taught growing up from our parents, and that's what we're gonna do in the future, but hopefully it continues how it's been. So from the Tanioka family to yours, have a great New Year, enjoy our sashimi and all the other great food. May the New Year bring blessings and good luck to all your families and friends.
Watching the folks at Tanioka's unload those massive fish from the auction was so cool. It was great talking to Justin and Tad and hearing about the importance of sashimi for New Year's. Thank you guys so much.
Good teams have strength, speed, and accuracy. But great teams are built on something even more powerful: tradition, shared values, a sense of family, and a deep connection to the community. As a local insurance company, Island is here for you and here for Hawaii. I'm Marcus Mariota, and my team is Island Insurance.
Up next, the Hooge Ryu Hana Nuuzi no Kai Nakasone Dance Academy will perform traditional Okinawan dances.
The Hooge Ryu Hana Nuuzi no Kai Nakasone Dance Academy was founded by Yoshiko Nakasone over 66 years ago. Nakasone Sensei has been recognized nationally and in 2021 received the U.S. National Endowment of the Arts National Heritage Award in Culture and Folk Arts. The mission of the Nakasone Dance Academy is to promote Okinawan dance in Hawaii and to promote goodwill between the United States and Japan.
Classical Okinawan dance started during the Ryukyuan kingdom of Okinawa. Okinawa and China, the Ming courts of China, had very close relationships. So whenever the Ming courts would send their envoys to Okinawa, they would use these dances to entertain them. And as time went on, the populace also caught on to the idea of entertainment, and then they came up with what we call zo-udui, which features a lot of the folk songs and choreographies that go along with these folk songs. Prior to going on stage, I shut the whole world out and just think only of what is being said, what is being portrayed in the song. To me, Okinawan dance is great. It gives me a feeling of fulfillment, understanding my the native culture of my parents and grandparents, and then being able to share this with the younger generation or for people that are my age but never had that experience. I hope people will understand how important culture is to our lives and that the Okinawan culture is still alive and well, even here in Hawaii. On behalf of Hooge Ryu Hana Nuuzi no Kai, Nakasone Yoshiko Sensei, and our whole group, Yoki o Shougatsu o mukai ni natte kudasai.
Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Happy New Year and welcome to Chado Urasenke Tankokai Hawaii Association's Ohana Festival 2022 tea demonstration. My name is Marilyn Naka and I will be your host today. 70 years ago in 1951, our now retired 15th generation Grand Tea Master, Dr. Genshitsu Sen, came to Hawaii to establish the first Urasenke Tea Association outside Japan. Today, there are 92 associations in 37 countries worldwide. This is a testament that the message he brought, peacefulness through a bowl of tea, resonates with people everywhere. Chado, which translates as the way of tea, came to Japan at the end of the 12th century by way of China. Zen Buddhist priests studying in China felt that the tea they drank in China had remarkable medicinal effects, such as keeping them awake during long meditations. Here too in the West, we have discovered that drinking green tea has its health benefits as well. To a casual observer of tea, the host is simply mixing matcha, powdered green tea, with hot water in a bowl and serving this drink to a guest. With chado, however, this act of hospitality is far more than meets the eye. What makes chado hospitality unique and sincere is that it is filled with multiple facets of Japanese culture. First are 4 principles of wa, kei, sei, jaku. Harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility are found in all that we do and say. Second are the aesthetics. It is said that tea is the essence of Japanese aesthetics. Someone once described chado as a living museum of Japanese traditional arts and crafts. Almost all utensils are one of a kind that comes alive with use and handling. A joyous annual event in the world of tea is Hatsudate Shiki, the first tea gathering of the new year. A year ago, in January 2021, we held our New Year's first tea virtually. Please be our guest now as we invite you to join us at this first tea. Our New Year's gathering begins with guests cleansing and purifying themselves at a stone basin. They're symbolically washing off the dirt, both physically and spiritually, before entering the tea room. Before seating, each guest views the utensils and other traditional New Year decorations selected by the host. Guests do this with appreciation and gratitude, knowing that the host has done his utmost to create a setting and ambiance that permeates the room and becomes a memorable experience for all. Once seated, the host and his assistant bring in the sweets. Today's sweet is Hanabira Mochi, translated as flower petal rice cake. Hanabira Mochi is Urasenke's traditional New Year's sweet, served only at this time of year. The low bow by both hosts and guests is the most formal type of welcoming bow. No words need to be spoken. Their actions convey sincerity, humility, and mutual respect. The host carries the ceramic tea bowl, a bamboo scoop and whisk, and a lacquered tea caddy filled with matcha into the tea room. Other necessary utensils have been placed earlier on the black lacquered board. Cleanliness is of utmost importance in the world of tea. Symbolic gestures of cleaning and purifying the tea caddy, the tea scoop, and the whisk are performed. The tea bowl is wiped with a special linen cloth. Prior to preparing the tea, the host invites the guests to partake of the sweet. The host scoops matcha from the caddy into the bowl. He adds a ladleful of hot water from the kettle. And with the whisk, rapidly blends the tea and water, creating a frothy surface. Taking the bowl in hand, he turns it twice so the front of the bowl now faces the honored guests. Before taking her first sip, the first guest places the bowl towards the second guest and excuses herself for going ahead of her. She then places the tea bowl before her and to the host says, "With thankfulness, I accept this tea you have made for me." When the second guest is served, she places the tea towards the first guest and says, "Allow me to join you." With a slight bow, she then proceeds to drink in the same manner as the first guest. Assured that no further tea is necessary, the host rinses the tea bowl and whisk, replenishes the water in the kettle, returns the ladle to the stand, and lastly, prepares the tea caddy and tea scoop for closer viewing by the guests. Once again, the first guest excuses herself for going ahead of the second guest. Both guests are now able to handle and closely examine the caddy and scoop. Later, the first guest will have an opportunity to ask the host about the artist and the design, and to compliment him on his selections of utensils in harmony with the season and occasion. As the last guest leaves the tea room, the sound of the sliding door closing signals the host that his guests have left. In the tranquil, quiet tea room, this is one of several instances where sound has an important role to play. Thank you for joining us today. Once we are back to our Ohana Festival in-person demonstrations, there will be time for questions and a chance to see the utensils and decorations up close. As an association, we are committed to taking Dr. Sen's message of peacefulness through a bowl of tea into our community. Please call our Urasenke office at 808-923-3059 for more information about classes and demonstrations. Because of safety protocols, we are limited in what we can provide at this time. We ask for your patience and understanding. Please take care and stay healthy.
At Atlas Insurance, doing the right things matter to us. At work with our Atlas Ohana, on the job with our clients, and in the community through giving of our time and resources. As Hawaii's largest insurance agency, we've built our success on the cornerstones of loyalty, dedication, and being a trusted partner since 1929. Hawaii is not simply a place where we do business, Hawaii is our home. Here's to a 2022 filled with health, success, and happiness. From our Atlas family to yours, Happy New Year.
Uchi 寄せる波をずっと一人見つめてた何も知らずにそうよ期待に応えたいでも気づけばいつも夢に来てるのこの道を進んでもたどり着くとこは同じ許されないの憧れの遠い海空と海が出会うところはどれほど遠いの追い風受け漕ぎ出せばきっとわかるのどこまで遠く行けるのかなそうねみんなとても幸せそうだわそれはわかるのそうよ自分の居場所があるのってほんって素敵なことよねこの道を進んでもよそられることは同じでも心に響くのは違う歌空と海が出会うところはどれほど遠いの追い風受け漕ぎ出せばきっと私は行くのよ
Aloha everyone, it's Aolani Silva, your Miss Teen Aloha State American Scholar, and I want to wish you all a Happy New Year!
That was the beautiful voice of Aolani Silva, a student of Craig Shimizu, the singing sensei. Mochi is a deliciously chewy treat we locals enjoy year-round, but I learned that it's also a significant New Year symbol. Up next, Reverend Tad Iwata from Tenrikyo Mission Headquarters of Hawaii will share the importance of mochi for the new year and the process of mochi making.
Hi, I'm Tad Iwata. I am a head minister of a Tenrikyo church on Judge Street, which is one of 30 Tenrikyo churches here in Hawaii. In Tenrikyo, we are taught that God created us human beings to delight in our joyous life. And the joyous life is a blissful state where people come together to delight in living with joyous and spirited minds, helping and caring for one another as brothers and sisters, equal children of God. So Tenrikyo Church, we hold daily and monthly services. We also hold various events throughout the year, cultural events, including Mochitsuki. So Mochitsuki, which is mochi pounding, is a tradition that has continued for many Japanese families. And it brings people together at the end of the year to strengthen their bonds, to reflect on the previous year, to make those connections, but also, again, to create this product that can be offered and enjoyed by many people. Rice is the primary staple of a Japanese diet, and mochi is made from a special type of rice grain, glutinous or sticky rice. And in ancient Japan, mochi was considered a very precious and sacred food, which was offered to the gods at New Year's and also eaten for good health and good fortune. And mochi, as you may know, is very elastic. So mochi's elastic nature is thought to bring strength and vitality for a long and healthy life. And its whiteness represents purity in the hopes to cleanse and purify one's body, mind, and spirit. So mochi is usually pounded at the end of December so that it can be available to offer at New Year's and also to partake at New Year's celebrations. The process of making mochi is quite arduous and demanding. It begins with washing and soaking rice from at least a day before. And this could include 200 to 300 pounds for one event. So that's quite a bit of rice to wash and to soak. And then the next morning to steam that rice. When people come to the event, they may see it starting with just the mashing of the rice grains being mashed together in a large stone mortar called a usu, using wooden mallets called kine. And then after we mash it together, then we start the pounding, which of course attracts huge crowds. And then after that, it becomes one big ball of sticky mochi. And then we have people mold the mochi into sizes that people can take home and partake in. So some people find it challenging to hit the mochi, which is very important because you don't want to hit the mallet, the wooden mallet, the kine, on the stone usu because it'll start to splinter, start to shatter, and you'll have wood pieces in the mochi as well as your kine will need to be fixed, and those are not cheap. And so for our maybe more novice pounders, we have them really, first get a kine, wooden mallet that is comfortable, easy to handle in terms of weight. And then we have them start by having the mallet in the mochi to at least at a starting point, and then bringing it up slowly, and slowly as they feel comfortable, taking bigger swings. But if you are given a mallet and you start to wind up, then it's easy to miss the mochi and hit the stone. It's very challenging to hit the mochi all the time when you're doing a wind up. So if you notice the more experienced people, they just bring it up, down, and slowly, using more force when they start to do the mochi pounding. If we can convey to the next generation, the importance of this tradition, the meaning behind this tradition of bringing people together to create a product that can be offered and to be enjoyed by many people. I think a lot of the younger ones may find that it is actually very enjoyable and brings greater significance. And then seeing the joy in people's faces when they partake in the mochi, to me it's all worth it. On behalf of the Tenrikyo Church, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy New Year. Shinnen akemashite omedetou gozaimasu.
It was so great learning about mochi and Mochitsuki from Reverend Iwata. I gotta give major props to mochi pounders. It takes rhythm, coordination, and precision. All the things that I don't have. And the last time I tried mochi pounding, I kept hitting the side of the stone bowl or the usu with my mallet, and it was just a mess. But thankfully, my wife's family now uses machines to make mochi, and the results still very tasty. Many people will use the mochi they make to create kagami mochi, a popular New Year's decoration. Let's hear more about mochi symbolism from Drs. George and Willa Tanabe.
You don't just eat mochi, but you also use it to decorate your house in preparation for the gods to visit. And so you will pile up for kagami mochi, 2 pieces of mochi that are round like a mirror. That's why they're called kagami mochi. And on top of that will be a bitter orange, or in Hawaii we use tangerine, but a bitter orange that in Japanese word is dai-dai, which means from generation to generation. So you're offering the mochi to the gods, you're putting it in a special place in the house, and you're continuing from generation to generation. And that little pile of mochi is placed on paper. Usually, originally it was on white paper, which was purification paper. Today we use Sawai gami, which is good luck paper. It'll have pictures of the 7 gods of good luck or other symbols of longevity and happiness. And usually 2 ferns underneath that. And that will be an offering to the gods, and you put it on, if you had a tokonoma in a Japanese house, you would put it there, or you put it near the family altar, or you put it near things that you want the gods to visit and to bring good luck. When we were working at the university, we'd put one on our computers, make us write and be smart.
My father had a hardware store, and so he would put the decorative mochi on his cash register. All of the things that are important for your livelihood, you want to pay attention to them. It's an expression of gratitude as well. Thank you, car, for providing us with transportation. Thank you, computer, you helped me do my work. So it's a sense of, again, renewal. So here we are, fortunate enough to be alive and healthy for 1 more year. And we're going to start this new year out right.
Now, I'm not super instrumental, but according to some koto players, learning the 13-string instrument isn't as hard as it may seem. For our last performance of the day, we'll hear a captivating performance from Sawai Kotokai, Hawaii.
The Sawai Kotokai was started in 1986, and our trustees were the late Judge Miho and also Ricardo Tremillo at UH Ethnomusicology Department, and Mr. William Feltz from the East-West Center. So since then, we've played out a lot of events throughout Oahu and also the neighbor islands.
It's very, very important song for Japan. Sakura, that's cherry blossom, it's flowers in Japan's best flowers.
Tanioka. That is our Sawai Music Academy's founder. The Sawai sensei composed original song. Original founder Sawai sensei passed away, but his wife and his son came to our concert and play, and I heard the audience came expecting traditional Koto music, and they came and really impressed with this new style of Koto music.
We can study together. So that was really nice things, and sometimes we have to do for performance and in other community. So that was really nice to cheer up for people.
I surely enjoy the group playing together, but during the COVID, we completely stopped our group lesson. But we just beginning to start talking, we need to get together. Then we encourage each other to play and practice together. So we're really thinking about that happen pretty soon. I really recommend this instrument because rather easy to start.
I guess my advice is it's not as difficult as it looks. It's not that intimidating, actually.
Any age can start. Piano is hard to pick up when you get older, but this, any age, people can start. So I hope it gets popular for any age people.
From Sawai, Kotokai, Hawaii.
Happy New Year! Shinen omedetou gozaimasu.
It's been so great having you here for day 2 of the New Year's Ohana Festival. I'm learning so much about the New Year's traditions and hope you are too. Now tomorrow is the last day of our New Year's Ohana Festival virtual show, and you don't want to miss it. We've got fantastic segments ahead like the 70th Cherry Blossom Festival opening ceremony, cooking ozoni with Chef Alan Wong, and a whole lot more. Now you can head on over to jcch.com/NYOF 2022 to see tomorrow's full lineup, and you can also shop the Year of the Tiger t-shirt there. Thank you again so much to our New Year's Ohana Festival sponsors for their generous support in making all of this possible. And be sure to hit the subscribe button below and follow JCCH to stay up to date on all that's happening at the center. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the 3rd and final day of the New Year's Ohana Festival.